What's up, everyone? Vincent Janito here. I am hanging out with Sean Murray of Hello Games, and we are getting right into some. We're going to talk about crafting and resource gathering in No Man's Sky. So it's a vital part of the game. Right. Huge, one of the four main pillars of what the game is all about. And why don't you take us through some of the vital things that we can create with the things we find on the planet?
Yeah, well, what you've got with you is your suit, which you're wearing, your weapon, which you're carrying around, and your ship. And all three of those have an inventory. I can just show you that, actually.
Sure, yeah, let's look.
So there's your weapon, your suit, and your ship. And each of those has a number of slots. So those are inventory slots, and different suits, weapons, and ships have different layouts of different different inventories, and that's important, how they're laid out, and also how many slots you have available to you. Because
that's for a couple of reasons, right? Because first of all, if you put different things, in adjacency with one another, you get bonuses.
Right.
So that's one element of it. But the other is that those slots are shared. They can either store elements, crafting materials, or they can be slots for you to put in technology upgrades.
Right.
So you're kind of playing this game of, do I want for instance, do I want my suit to be very functional, have lots of different kinds of upgrades on it, or do I want to be able to carry a lot, or a mix of the two? You have to play that game, kind of.
So we can have another little look around, right? And actually, titanium is relatively difficult to gather.
And it looks like the Sentinels are not happy with it.
Right, exactly.
You've done a little too much to their planet.
Yeah, so I'm going to get out of here, actually.
That's a good idea.
Okay. The stuff I need isn't on this planet, so I'm just going to run away out into space.
Good idea. So you were also mining some plutonium there. That's one of several different minerals that can be used as a fuel source.
Right, exactly. And that's fuel not just for your ship, but it's fuel for things like your weapons.
Right.
Or if you have protection layers in your suit. So if you're on a hazardous planet, that one wasn't, but if you were on an extremely cold or an extremely hot planet, you would need to charge up your protection.
And that's one of the interesting things about, now that I've played a little bit of No Man's Sky, that I'm realizing is that a lot of the things that you take for granted in other games as being recharging or infinite are not in this game. Like if you want more ammo for your bolt caster, that's something that you need to craft. If you want to recharge, like you said, recharge your, your shields, like that's not just going to automatically happen. You have to have the resources for that. So you're always, in that way, like this game is really much more purely like a survival game, like say Don't Starve or something like that, than it is than you might initially think. So you were just mining some stuff in space here. I didn't know that you could find stuff in space as well as on the surface.
Yeah,
Tell me about that a little bit.
Asteroids contain a variety of resources, depending on the system you're in and the shape and size of the asteroid and how they've been formed and things. Those ones contain thamium, which is actually a really good fuel source. So that's normally what you would use for powering up your hyperdrive. There's also loads of other sources of resources in space. So for instance, if you were to attack some of these trade ships, they would have a cargo more than likely. So you could attack them and they would drop loot effectively. You can go and grab that, but that's going to, I guess that's going to draw attention from sentinels and police, that kind of thing, and give you a wanted level.
Yeah, your wanted level will go up, and then you have to find a way to escape. Maybe go into the atmosphere of a planet and hide, or whatever it is.
So we're going to find another planet now. Maybe jump down to this planet here and have a look and see if we can find some silicon, something like that, in order to build some of the upgrades.
Cool. Sounds good.
Okay, so here we are.
We made it.
We made it to this planet. And I'm just going to land.
Cool.
I'm just going to find a place.
So what kind of resources are we going to be looking for here that we couldn't find at the previous planet?
So I'm hoping to find some silicon, which is a thing that is normally used to build kind of technologies.
Sure.
Maybe some sulfur, that kind of thing.
So I land on this alien planet. I have no idea where anything is. Like how, but I know what I need, right? Like I'm looking for silicon. So how can I? Is it just needle in a haystack to just walk around randomly? Like how can I have an idea of where something might be?
The first thing is the game kind of has rules, right? And you're going to learn those rules as you go along. So you'll learn planets that are further from the sun have certain types of resources. Planets that are closer have certain types of resources, or planets that have certain environments. Oh, so this is cool, right? So these hills, they have resources in them. And this over here, this is some debris, so this should probably have some silicon in it. I'm just going to check in and see how we're doing. So it looks like we can finally build this, which is a shield boost, so that's going to help me survive for a lot longer. And that will upgrade my shield, which means I'll survive, on hazardous planets. I'll survive from being shot much easier. I will be able to survive against sentinels and things like that, which allows me to maybe put up more of a battle, maybe gather more resources more easily.
Yeah, that shield is important both for fighting and for exploration when you're in a harsher environment.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool. Well, thank you so much, Sean, for letting us take a look at the crafting in No Man's Sky. And for more on No Man's Sky, keep it right here on IGN.